Whiskey by the fire, whiskey by the fire, whiskey by the fire with chops. Whiskey by the fire, whiskey by the fire, whiskey by the fire with chops. Hey, and welcome to episode 2 of Whiskey by the Fire with Chops. Still waiting on the new webcam with the new microphone, so I still have the grainy potato camera. The microphone sounds like we're underwater sometimes, but we'll deal with it. We'll live with it. It's the week after 4th of July, and morons are still lighting off fireworks. Whatever, I guess if that's their big thing in their life, that's what excites them. Good for them. At least they're not out raping and pillaging and causing mass destruction, or are they? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's we're starting to go full on into July, and summer's looking okay. I'm looking forward to a lot of things in the summer, even though we're still kind of locked down. We're still trying to kind of keep isolated. We're living within the guidelines. We're wearing our masks. We're washing our hands. We're socially distancing. I recently picked up a scooter, so I'm mobile now, so I can actually get out and about. I took a very, very long ride yesterday. I went down into downtown New Haven and popped into a establishment that I miss going to. I saw a lot of familiar faces. It's nice to see some sit and chat. Responsibly, of course, mask on. Being that I was out on the scooter, I did not partake in any beverages other than water, because I'm smart. And then I thought, okay, well, this has been nice. Let's pop out to West Haven and see if I can, see if anybody's around. So I stopped in to visit George and Sarah. I saw Charlie Mack down at Reruns. Because on the way out of West Haven, I got stuck smack dab in the middle of a Black Lives Matter march, which it inconvenienced me for about 2 minutes until I can get back on the road and get going to where I was going. Stopped and got some fish and chips at a favorite restaurant of mine in West Haven, Duffy's, where Brannigan's Corner, one of the bands that I play with, that was our regular haunt. We used to play there every other Sunday, and I miss it. So got to say hi to a couple of familiar faces there at Duffy's, especially Claire. Very nice to see Claire. She's a sweetheart. Yeah, so that's that's pretty much the intro here. We're getting into the dog days of summer, and dog days of summer means lots of naps. That's pretty much what I do now. I'm going to sleep very early. I'm waking up very early. I get up, I do some work, and then of course sometimes I take first nap. And then by the end of first nap, it's lunchtime. I'll eat lunch. I'll be up for a little while. Maybe go out for a ride or walk, something out and about. And then the after lunch nap. Sometimes I forego that, and I'll take an after dinner nap. And then, but yeah, it's just these days they grate down on you a little bit here, especially we're still within the whole isolation and lockdown thing with coronavirus. But that's that, and that brings us on to I believe birthdays of the week. Birthdays of the week. Okay, well, we'll start out with birthdays of the people we know. So this week, my friend Shannon. I knew her first as Shannon Lacko. She lived down near the Stevenson Dam, not too far from where my mom lives. Yeah, I've known her for a very, very long time. She's now together with Lou DiBella, who's another good friend of mine, who's a singer for Sub-Zero, New York hardcore band. Lou's a really great guy, and I'm very happy that they kind of found each other, because they seem to be a good fit. Digging back into the archives here, Mr. Michael Drew. Michael Drew I went to high school with. He was somebody who was. I always thought of him as a very inspirational person because he was always into art. He was always into fashion. He was a good. He could trace out and draw out things. Like that was a skill that I always kind of admired because I've never really been a good like an actual artist, like taking a pencil and drawing out something. But he had a really good eye for shapes and shadows and yeah, you know, he's somebody I don't think I've seen him since high school. I'm friends with him, of course, on Facebook, and I hope he's doing well. You know, he was always a person who I really enjoyed uh, his friendship. So, and then Mike Rivke. Mike was he was he was in a bunch of different kind of up and coming bands. Mickey Rickshaw was a group. I believe he still has the group together, Mickey Rickshaw, and they're kind of like a Celtic themed kind of rock, you know, rock band and everything. And they're really good in their own right and everything. And then as of late, the last year or so, he's taken on vocal duties for the Rumjacks, which are an Australian Celtic punkish kind of band, and they're an excellent band. And just like for him to get that opportunity, you know, it's well deserved. He's a really good guy, and he works hard for his craft. So I wish him, you know, great luck with that endeavor. I myself, I'd love the fact to get back and forth to Australia if I could, but it's not in the cards, so to speak. So then, celebrity birthdays. You know, this week you can't forget this icon. You know, of Hollywood. You know, he's done so much. He's done so much really good. He's done a lot of really bad films too, but a lot of people remember him for his iconic roles as, of course, Rocky and Rambo and many different others, which would be Sylvester Stallone. Turned 74 this week, which you think about 74, wow, geez, you know, that's like it's roughly about my parents' age, you know, and he still looks pretty damn good actually, you know. I mean, the years have shown on him, but he wears it well. Um, Kevin Hart, uh, I was late to the game on Kevin Hart. He's very funny, very his personality is really amazing. Uh, so I'm kind of very late to the game on his humor and following him. But I do like Kevin Hart. I love his interactions with The Rock. I love his interactions with he's on the Ellen Show every now and then, and him and Ellen are just like just they've got a really cute relationship between the both of them. Um, uh, Ned Beatty, Ned Beatty is 83 years old. You know, he's one of those people who's kind of been out on the spotlight for a while. He hasn't really done on. I mean, he possibly could have done like an HBO special or an HBO series or something, some kind of series on cable or Netflix or something like that. And I probably missed it because I I don't have Netflix. I don't have any of the cable stations, you know, or whatever like that. But he's somebody who I always enjoyed, whether as a comedy role or uh, you know, or a dramatic role, you know. Um, I liked I liked him in the Superman movies with Christopher Reeve. You know, Mr. Luthor, Mr. Luthor. He was always it's kind of like the Pratfall plucky comic relief character. And then Brian Posehn, who a lot of people when I was growing up, I used to get compared. A lot of people said that I looked like Anthony Michael Hall, the geek from The Breakfast Club and 16 Candles, and I could sort of see it when I was very thin. I could sort of see the uh, the resemblance and everything like that. And then as I got older and he got older, the resemblance wasn't there. But with the beard and the glasses, Brian Posehn, I get compared to him quite often. So happy 54th birthday to Brian Posehn. So, uh, yeah, he's. I love the fact he was in the Mandalorian. I caught him in that recently, and somebody had said they said to me, I was watching The Mandalorian and I saw this guy on there, and I swear it was you. And I was just like, you know exactly, it's the first episode, right? And they're like, yes, 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 first episode. So that's birthdays out of the way. We're gonna go with the viral clip of the week. This one here. I think you'll like this one. This will kind of bring a smile to your face.
Viral clip of the week.
Take these off. What's up? You are amazing.
Thanks.
You know, I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I've been watching you.
Thanks.
He didn't know you. You didn't even know that Lenny was here, did you?
No.
We kept it very quiet, so this is a big surprise. Thanks, Lenny. All right. Not only do you get Lenny Kravitz to come out here and surprise you, but we know you like Spider-Man as well, so we got you some gifts, okay?
Thanks.
All right. You're welcome. I think you just got touched.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. We'll be right back.
Oh, I love that one. Absolutely love that one. I guess it's not really a secret that I do love Ellen. Some of her clips, some of the clips of these viral clips that I get that that kind of bring a smile on my face. You know, just happy tears and ugly crying, that kind of thing. I get a lot of those from her. I'm going to be trying to diversify and do clips from other places around the web as well. But that's Justin Wilson Jr., known as the little drummer boy, and he's, you know, I believe he was 5 or 6 when this video was taken, and but he'd been on the Ellen Show once before, and so this is his second performance, and just the look on his face when he's playing drums, that smile, it's infectious. It's just he's such a cute little kid. He's got such a personality, and just pointing the stick out in the audience and throwing his fist bump out too, because his parents are in the audience, of course, and just he just, you know, just so happy, just, you know, loves playing the drums, and just he's this kid's he's the next prodigy. He's gonna be the next great one, and he's not an arrogant, like, selfish bone in his body about it. He just loves being a kid, as you see at the end there. You know, he loves Spider-Man. That look on his face with the mouth open and just, you know, in awe. You know, when he saw Lenny Kravitz walk on the stage in the middle of his performance, had no idea he was going to be there, and just that double take he took. Oh, just it fills your heart with joy. It's amazing. That's one of the reasons why I like the Ellen Show, because she does that for so many for so many people. She what in a world that seems like it's going to crap sometimes, you know, she helps out by helping us remember the good things, which and that's what I endeavor when I do all these shows, is, you know, the shows that I'm doing here as well. And I'm hoping that as we go along, my you know, I get the new camera, the new microphone. I've got my green screen now, but it's not picking up with the camera that I have right now. It's not picking up properly, so I have to make sure I just, I have to tweak out a few things, but it's going to get better as we go along. I've got some really killer interviews lined up too. I'm contacting up and coming musicians and artists and comedians, and it's wonderful because a lot of people, they're looking to expand their careers here in the United States, and I'm no Simon Cowell or any promoter or anything like that, but I love the fact that some people's their access to Twitter, you can actually sit and talk with people who you admire, who are kind of up and coming artists and everything, and they're agreeable. So through Twitter, I've contacted a few up and coming artists, musicians, comedians, and I'll be having those interviews in the upcoming weeks and so forth. So, and that brings us to the question of the week, followed by the fun fact of the week. The question of the week. I actually got a question of the week from somebody, and so I'm kind of lumping question of the week and fun fact of the week together. Here they are.
Question of the week. Fun fact of the week.
Okay. The question of the week was actually sent in by Gina Carmichael, an old friend of mine from I knew her right after I graduated high school. I worked a couple jobs with her. And her question and it was kind of a serious question. She wanted to know if there's anything that can make your day a little brighter. She wanted to know simple things that can make your days brighter and everything. And I think a joke is good. I think a little reading, maybe watching a little quality television, good conversation with a friend and everything like that. But for me, I'm gonna have to say cheese. Definitely cheese. I picked up some really good Swiss this week. I picked up a Red Leicester with chipotle and peppercorns in it. I'm interested to try that one. I think that's going to be a really good one. I think that would melt good on burgers. And then I picked up a Wensleydale with lemon curd and blueberries. So I'm hoping that there'll be some nice, delicious cheeses that will make my day a little bit better. So then that brings us to the fun facts of the week. And this is the German edition of the fun facts of the week. Germans tend to have phrases that don't have like literal translations, but they have meanings for different things. And one very popular one is Schadenfreude, which is it's shameful joy. It's basically you see somebody kind of slip and fall and plant their face on the pavement, after being very arrogant, pride cometh before a fall, that kind of thing, where this person is kind of high on themselves like that, and then they trip over their own shoes and embarrass themselves, and you kind of take a little bit of pleasure at their discomfort. That's Schadenfreude, pretty much, which we're all kind of guilty of it. The other phrase that I like is Kummerspeck. Kummerspeck, it literally translates to grief bacon. Speck being bacon, Kummer, grief. And what it is, it's the excess weight that you put on from eating due to anxiety or depression. I think we've all been there, so we can all say that we've been victims of Kummerspeck. And then the third, of course, is Backpfeifgesikten. Backpfeifgesikten basically is not really any kind of literal translation. It just means that this person has a face that you just want to punch. And in these these trying times, and there are a lot of people out there who have Backpfeifgesikten all about them. Yeah, that and then of course the not really a phrase, but the I guess German word of the week would be the German word for bagpipes is Dudelsack. That's right, Dudelsack. And that brings us on to the joke of the week. And joke of the week, I actually listened to my friend John this week. He sent this in, and It's an old joke that I remember from many, many years ago, but I really enjoy it.
Joke of the week.
So, a man buys a rooster for his farm, and the rooster brings the rooster home, and the first day, the rooster services all the hens on the farm. And right after lunchtime, the farmer notices the rooster's out there again, servicing all the hens on the farm. And he's like, "Wow, Jesus, I got my money's worth out of this rooster, you know." And then the next day, he noticed that all the geese and the turkeys and all the other fowl that he's got on the farm are being serviced by the rooster. And the rooster's really having a go at it. And so he's like, "Geez, I think I got a little more than a bargain for with this guy." Another day goes by, and he sees the rooster laying on the ground, looking nearly half dead of exhaustion. And he walks up, and he notices there's vultures circling around up ahead, above, and he says to the rooster, he says, "Serve you right, you horny little bastard. Serve you right like that." And that's when the rooster turns to him and says, "Shh, shh, I almost got him landing." Old joke. Hope you liked it.
Comedian of the week.
Okay, I forgot about doing Comedian of the Week last week. I was kind of pressed for time, so I cut that segment from the set. I wanted to make sure I put it in this week here because I'm featuring one of my favorite comedians as of late. She's from County Kildare. She goes by the name of Aisling Bea. She's got a bunch of different stuff on Netflix, some drama and comedy stuff like that. Live at the Apollo. She does all the panel shows. She does QI. She does cats out of 8 out of 10 cats. 8 out of 10 cats does Countdown. But Aisling Bea, look her up. She's absolutely hysterical.
My mother said to me, she was like, "Aisling, if you don't start doing exercise, then you could end up becoming fat thin." And I said, "Jesus, Mary and Joseph and all of his carpenter friends. What is fat thin?" "Oh, Aisling, I read about it in a women's magazine." A women's magazine. The only targets of women's magazines are other women. "Fat thin is where you're thin, but you're secretly fat because you don't do any exercise. You can also be thin fat, thin, too fat, too thin, thin in the wrong place, thin in the right place, fat in the wrong place, fat in the right place. But no matter what you do, no matter what you try, you are definitely wrong." And I said, "Mother, as if I don't have enough problems in my life trying to walk down the street at night and not get raped, trying to live in a society where 25-year-old women are sticking plastic and poison in their faces, so by the time they get to their 40s and 50s, they've nothing to do with themselves but pull out their eyeballs and stick babies' eyeballs in instead. We live in a world where it's a tragedy to die young, so we're all pumped full of stuff to make us live longer, but nobody wants to do anything as unnatural as look older. Oh no, wouldn't that be mad to look older and be older? So we're all pumped full of stuff to make us live longer, but look younger, so by the time we die aged 100 in a box, we look like we've died tragically young. That we live in a world where they have developed telephones without plugs that can send a picture of a cat from one side of the world to the other side of the world in under a second, and they are still trying to go up with faster telephones. Yet still, after 200,000 years of humanity, we have not come up with a better way to have a baby child than to push something the size of a bowling ball out my tiny hole. Now I have to worry about being fat thin. I said, "Go shove it up your floop, mother." I didn't actually tell my mother to go and shove it up her floop. I agreed to go to a Zumba class.
The very funny Aisling Bea. Yeah, I adore her. I think she's very, very funny. Definitely check her stuff out. She's one of the better upcoming comedians. But she's got some drama stuff that she's done online as well. Like This Way Up was a show that she did that was semi-autobiographical. Thank you. I've just heard struggles with mental illness and anxiety and whatnot. And she does a show with Paul Rudd, Living with Yourself, about cloning. It's kind of a sci-fi weird drama comedy thing. But most of the stuff she does is just really just funny comedy stuff. Which brings us on to the rant of the week. What am I going to rant about this week? Who knows?
Grrr. Rant of the week.
So many topics to cover. Where to start? There are too many things to rant about. First and foremost, coronavirus is still going strong. We're seeing spikes in cases around the country in certain areas. And it's just because people aren't following the guidelines. They're trying to reopen too early. They're not being responsible about it. They seem to think it's some big joke, but we're up to 133,000 people who have lost their lives to this virus. And first and foremost, I want to give my condolences, send my heart out to my friend Larry, who lost his sister to coronavirus this week. She worked in healthcare. She was a nurse, and just she's right there on the front lines helping out other people dealing with coronavirus. And then she started to show symptoms. In less than 36 hours, she passed on. She apparently caught it hard. She had to be she had to be intubated almost immediately. And again, Larry, I'm so sorry. There's a word that I can't even think of words to even try to comfort you, but I know you've had my back, I've had your back, and that's never going to change. So I love you, brother, and keep your chin up. The only other thing that really has kind of got my goat this week is Kanye West has just proclaimed that he wants to run against Trump in 2020. Is this the best we have to offer? It's reality TV stars and people who have no business being in government whatsoever. What qualifications do they have? I realize the qualifications are very minimal. All you have to do is be a citizen of the United States and 35 years old. That's all you have to do to be president of the United States. But you should have at least a background of what the hell you're getting into. Our current president shows, succinctly that he has no business being the president of the United States. He's an utter failure, We don't need to go from utter failure to, oh, well, geez, we tried a reality TV star with his porn star wife. Why don't we try a rap mogul and his porn star wife? It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing that this is the best we can do. And I'm going to keep my rant short because I don't have a guest this week. That's another reason I'm kind of ranting. I wanted to make sure I had my my new camera and microphone before I start doing musical guests back and forth and actual guests themselves, because I'm looking to get the qualities of these videos better and better. So that'll be end rant, and that's going to bring us to the music clip of the week. And music clip of the week is, I think you'll enjoy it.
The world my life I've lived beside the waters and they collide. I build the ships, I watch them glide down the Brumalosar. Puts the work and sleep to the rain, labour for another's gain. Now you place and don't complain, now that's the rich man's loss. When I was young I read what right how Scotland's heroes fought and died to keep the nation fortified against the English cruiser. Scots were here with Wallace fled, white barracks fancy were misled, packed amongst themselves instead, fighting for Rondosa. When the Billy boys are marching in the Sassafras War, the day was from the Virginia Crown 300 years before. The gentry give us smile and with their masses glitter and glow. It keeps us all in poverty with the old divide and roll. The fights that play, the things that beat on Kenneth Glen and Cobble Street, the sullen tramp of marching feet returned the call to arms, sir. In the field where cattle graze, from his hand the brother raised, thus the name of God was prisoners from the burning farm, sir. When the big boys are marching in the Sasha Brothers War, the Davies in the Virginia Crown 300 years before. The gentry give us smile and lift their glasses to John Bull, who keeps us all in poverty with the old divide and roll. this baby comes a right to all, sir. As for Gentile, so for Jew, Protestant and Catholic too, every race and every hue secure within four walls, sir. Out the buried by a vineyard, together make a stand, to raise a flag of wonders powerful across the land. Declare it in the factory, the office at the school, we'll put an end to poverty and the old divide and rule.
That was Australian Celtic folk rock group Roaring Jack. Alistair Hewlett is the singer. He did a lot of solo stuff too that I was a big fan of. Sadly passed away a couple of years ago. But yeah, the band was always compared as the answer to the Pogues, Australia's answer to the Pogues. But they'd come out right about the same time and everything, and they wrote a lot of songs about social issues and unions and working for the working class and the common man. Lots of songs about Scotland and infusing a lot of classic music in with their own rock sound. And that's going to be the show for the week. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm still tweaking out a lot of this. Some of these are going to go over 30 minutes. Like this one here is probably going to be close to 34 minutes or so, I guess. Because I think the comedy and the music clips went over a little bit more than I thought they would. So until next week, be good, be kind to each other, and we'll see you soon.
Whiskey by the fire, whiskey by the fire, whiskey by the fire with chops. Whiskey by the fire.